Hello, I am the Ronan Bond, and this is NationStates. Welcome to it, ladies and gentlemen. God, I'm tired today. It's one of those nights where, actually it was a night after a live stream, and last night, I just sort of passed out after it, and then, how you sleep for like 3 hours, and then you wake up, and you've got all the energy for a whole nother day, but it's still the middle of the friggin' night, and you just know that you're not gonna be able to wake up in the morning at a reasonable hour. It's gonna throw your entire sleep schedule off. You know that? No? You've got a real job? Well, then what do you know about trying to hack into my NationStates account? There have been 2 bad login attempts since my last successful login, and I never logged out. One of you is trying to get your way in, and if you can, please don't. Please don't. Let's have a look at the issues. Don't puff on me, say non-smokers. Are there non-smokers? I thought everybody smoked. There's a growing call within Kentucky to abolish smoking in public areas. I'm in full support of this motion, says man on the street Yuri McBoatface. I'm sick of being stuck behind smokers, sucking in their pollution. They can... I need a cigarette, hang on. They can light up in the privacy of their own homes if they want. Well, what's so special about their homes, says anti-smoking campaigner Chip Song. The government has a responsibility to stop people from hurting themselves. It's the same reason we should make them wear seatbelts in cars. Sooner or later, they end up in one of Kentucky's hospitals sucking on the taxpayer-funded health care. Not that that's why we should ban smoking. We should ban it because we care. Yeah. That's the thing, whenever that argument comes up, it always comes back around to, the money and the healthcare dollars and the da-da-da-da-da-da. And, smoking's bad, there's a lot of arguments for it, but when you bring that one up, I can't help but notice y'all gobbling down the McWhoppers, or whatever they are. The man who doesn't eat meat makes a meat joke. And the coffee and the soda pop, you're ruining the lining of your stomach, you're causing yourself to have this type 9 diabetes or something. Just whole new strains of diabetes across the globe just because of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and you being addicted to it, you freaking caffeine addict. Put it down. Put it down and light one up. It's better for everyone in the long run. Get your hands off my fag, wheezes longtime smoker Iris Bourdain. Bourdain, that's the guy who goes around and he's a chef and he's got, I've been smoking for 50 years and it's never done me any harm. Helps me concentrate enough. Government should back off on trying to tell me what I can put in my own body. Telling a smoker he can't light up in a restaurant is discrimination, pure and simple. If you want to put a stop to unfairness, stop that. A chain smoker. Oh God, I put it in backwards. So the danger of secondhand smoke absolutely decries the notion of get your hands off my fag, and also if you're gonna start with that, then maybe you don't want to say, talk about what you can put into your own body. I mean, there's different nomenclature that could be used. But on the notion of taking the right to smoke away from the people entirely, I am again it, primarily because of the whole, stop people from hurting themselves aspect of it. If you want to off this mortal coil a little bit early, I mean, we've got a population problem, generally speaking. I support banning smoking in public spaces, but if people want to kill themselves, have at you. Smoking is banned in public areas. Fewer lazy bums than ever before, bosses note. Virtuous government provides moral guidance. Everywhere except Kentucky, getting worse. Family groups support drug crackdown. People trying to hack into known YouTubers' NationStates account. Only leader could go to Daguo. I don't know how to Daguo. The Holy Emperor of the militaristic and isolationist nation Daguo has invited you to his palace for a state dinner in an attempt to warm decades of frosty relations. Well, lovely. As long as Trump is opening roads to Russia, might as well, allow Daguo to run our political system. It's a trap! Shouts Admiral Esma de Calamari, a military attaché who seems borderline paranoid. Isn't it obvious? They're only inviting you over there so they can kill you. They'll either poison you or stab you in your sleep. I haven't thought about this myself. I'm just saying, if someone else were to do it, trust me, you can't trust those Daguo animals. They will kill you the moment you let your guard down. Listen, Admiral, if people want to kill themselves or others, let's just all tie one on and forget about it. I agree that we shouldn't go over there, replies Julius Stephenson, your personal chef, who is always dying to experiment with new cuisine. However, that doesn't mean we should ourselves embark on a policy of isolationism. Why not invite this emperor of theirs over here and treat him to a state dinner? There's much to discuss, like their Tasmanian trade sanctions or the steady stream of refugees from the Maxtopian Civil War. Wow, that's actually a good idea. Who's this chef? Do you know how to do tater tots? I like tater tots.
I like them French fried taters.
Daguo's leaders have historically denounced our great nation for covert operations that, officially, we still deny, mentions Professor Paris Bullock between introductory college lectures. Meeting with Daguo's Holy Emperor would be a perfect way to begin to mend relations. Accept the invitation, respect their customs regardless of how strange they might seem, and act like a real national leader for once. Hey! You want some tater tots? They're coming out in a couple of minutes. Go out there and start advocating for world peace, and history will thank you. Or I'll be dead, so it's either, one or the other. Plus, anybody who calls themselves, like, the Holy Emperor, I mean, listen, coming from a fellow dictator, you're going over the top. After repeatedly hitting on your secretary, a somewhat suave secret agent introduces himself as Bont, James Bont. Go over to Daguo on the pretext of a diplomatic mission. Meanwhile, I will pose as a Mosh-Norian master chef so I can poison the Emperor's meal. Once he drops dead, his security is going to suspect foul play, but I'll be there to extract you back to Pontucky via rocket car. There's a chance my scheme will end up causing a war, but if worst comes to worst, I've still got my jetpack and exploding attaché case. Would you like a cigarette? Because I'm a secret agent and we all... Thanks for not making this illegal. I should exhale at some point. So on the spectrum, my options are get assassinated, assassinate, go over there and, kiss ass, or invite them over here. I think, yeah, come on over, Holy Emperor. We'll see, things could work out with us. Maybe I could convince him to, downgrade himself to most righteous emperor. Lavish state dinners in Slushfundia are the state's leading budgetary expenditure. One dinner for the Holy Emperor. His Holiness, demands the best tater tots in town. Demonstration ends in a reasonable discussion and handshakes. Good. Pontuckian aid workers begin distributing rations, including the tots. Economic growth exceeds forecasts. Diverse options for Pontucky's varied youth. And then a picture of clearly a prison camp. Diverse options. Look, everything went green there. It was the right decision. Another issue, please. The body politique. Oh, I like that. I like it when you put it in a French way like that. DNA testing on the remains of King Oswin V, the last king of Pontucky. Am I a king? Holy Emperor does have a ring to it. Traced his lineage to a local man in a poor district of Slushfundia. Flustered by the news, hardline Republicans and medieval cosplayers alike have petitioned your office. Mama, get the whiskey, no, the good kind, says Luke Hadfield, the newly found heir to the House of Ood. Well, it's about time that my royal heritage is recognized. Oh, God. We've got an heir to the throne. I declare myself the absolute ruler of Pontucky as your majesty King Rax. Listen, just because I do work for you occasionally doesn't make you the king. I will be the most high and most excellent king Pontucky has ever had. Leader, I want your house, and I'm turning it into a palace fit for my royalty. He then turns to your young secretary. And darling, if you want to be a queen, hit me up. Well, your majesty, that's a bit drastic, says Jadzia Nimoy, a prolific jouster and part-time mutton farmer. How about instead of an absolute monarchy, we install King Rex as a constitutional monarch? That way, competent politicians run the country. When has that ever been the case? But we all have a national symbol to rally behind. And imagine having an actual king open all of the medieval fairs in Pontucky. My mutton sales will go through the roof. You ever been to one of those things? We have the Renaissance Festival in the States. Travels all over the country. You go there and generally the practice is to get stung by as many bees as possible around the honey-baked turkey stand or whatever the hell it is. Liberté, égalité, fraternité, yells Ming Tru from a soapbox outside the National Historic Museum. Our foundation as a great country, our very success, started when that tyrant Oswin was violently ripped apart by blackout drunk peasants. To prevent reactionaries from poisoning the nation with outdated traditions, we need to denounce monarchy for the sham it is. We'll see. Historically, I mean, if we're kind of like in the French way, then liberté. If we're in the English way, yeah, monarchy is still kind of just a stick up your ass, isn't it? Yeah, you know what? Let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of it. Goodbye. I'm sorry to the Queen. Royalist is the most offensive slur in the Pawtuckian language. International observers applaud rising political freedom in Pawtucky. Government official found my wallet, added cash. Local man says, voters alert, engaged. What? Oh God, it's the Klingons again. How do I come up with these things like in pre, you know? Just, I'm gonna edit that sound in. And do the red light effect too. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Close encounters of the sci-fi kind. A recent well-publicized UFO sighting over rural areas of Pawtucky has turned people's attention to the skies and what or who might be up there with the truth that's out there. I'm not brilliant. I was clearly exaggerating before. This event proves one thing: there are other life forms out there, says eccentric astronomer. Astronomer? Yeah, let's go with it. Vladimir Longbottom. All we have to do is find them. What is the price of a few hundred radio telescopes compared to the benefit of living in peace and harmony with our brethren of the stars? Well, it's a waste of money is what it is, because a few hundred radio telescopes pointed at the sky are not as useful as a couple of giant ones spread over the surface of the globe. If there's far more accuracy, you can do more with it. You can just, look for planets that have... I know way too much about this topic. This isn't gonna go well. Spies! It's gotta be spies! A few planes or satellites from our enemies or allies in our region, rages General Bob Shaw, head of Pawtucky's military. Do you think the other people here in Pennsylvania are... Of course they're surveilling me. You pricks, that's why you're trying to hack into my NationStates account. Quit it. The only way to keep those snoops out of our airspace is to patrol the streets and skies and shoot them down. Even if they are some sort of little green aliens, a couple of SAM batteries and a few flak cannons will keep them from abducting our house mice. You can't really do an anal probe on a house mouse. I mean, you can, but you gotta round off a toothpick. It's not... Round off a toothpick, he says. Oh God, I need another cigarette. Extraterrestrial life forms, alien invaders? I don't know why we even have to listen to such idiocy, complains prize-winning physicist Gretel Berry. In my opinion, the idea of aliens on another planet is highly unlikely, and even if they did exist, getting from there to here is technically impossible. I say we forget this nonsense and stop spending our tax beers on it. Leave this sort of foolishness to the people who attend those Trekkie conventions. Now, as disparaging as that sounds, the reality is, if they're not already here, they're probably not there. Statistically speaking, right? If civilizations exist somewhere else on another planet that have figured out how to travel between solar systems or further or faster, we really should have already noted that existence. Which isn't to say that there's nothing out there, but to say that if there is something out there, they're probably somewhere within 1,000 years of our level of technology and just not making waves in the cosmos, which makes it hard to look for them in the first place. And so do you spend the money? I mean, we've gotten a lot of benefits from, looking for the search for extraterrestrial intelligence that have nothing to do with finding, aliens. So even if we don't stumble upon a race of super intelligent beings who can hand us an Alcubierre warp drive, we still make out in the end. It's just, do we have the money for it? And here in Pawtucky, the answer to that question has always been no. Nonetheless, I think we can all tighten our belts and eat tater tots in the pursuit of science. UFO sightings are listed daily in the morning news. Good, maybe they are out there. Maybe we just weren't looking. Tax on children's lemonade stands overzealous, parents protest. Incomes rising, economist says. How? We just bought a bunch of radio telescopes. Teen builds working deep space exploration rocket. Well, if we're gonna find them, then apparently it's gonna be some pimple-faced teenager who gets us there. Economist bullish on Pawtuckian economy. Really? God, I have no idea what I'm doing. Not a drop to drink. Oh no. Is this overpopulation in water? Kentucky has been hit with the worst drought in 100 years. As a result, thirsty citizens and a growing number of brown lawns are pleading for a government response. We have no choice but to ration water, says Hillary Thiessen, chief of the Slushfundia Department of Public Works, the STPW. We can't afford to let what little water we have slip through our fingers. We must clamp down on how much water each person is allowed to use. If our more wasteful citizens complain because they'll have to actually think about how much water they pour down the drain, all the better for the rest of us. Yep, I'm with you there. Those who live in California will be with you there. You think too small, size Foreign Secretary Mark Chavez. Actually, those in California might be pissed off if they don't have. But it's just not there, man. Like, you got what you got because, the golf course isn't running their sprinklers 24/7. Oh, they are? Oh, yeah, well, it is California. You think too small, size Foreign Secretary Mark Chavez between sips from a sparkling bottle of gourmet dihydrogen monoxide. Kentucky may be short on water, but the rest of Pennsylvania has water to spare. Why not just import the water from a woman? Sure, it'll cost money, but what's worth more to the people of Kentucky? A little tax money or their most basic physical needs? Our neighbors wouldn't dream of cutting off the water. Right? I don't know. They're hacking me. Not sure if I've got friends left around here. This drought is a warning sign sent by our creator, shouts a strangely familiar looking man who has just walked in from the desert clad in camel hair and sandals. If this nation will only turn from its wicked ways and hearken unto our God, surely he shall grace us with water once more. I mean, if it's between my neighbors or the imaginary being in the clouds, at least he's local to the water we need. I think we ration the water because we don't have the money. We just put in a whole bunch of radio telescopes, so we can't waste money on water. Fewer people are bathing as citizens must show ration stamps before they can turn on their faucets. What are you gonna do? Kentucky civil rights fell from very good to good. All right, as a dictator, I'm happy. Tourism industry braces for influx. Oh, everybody wants to come and smell our citizens. Income's rising, economist says. Yeah, because we didn't spend money there. Family groups support drug crackdown. How does that relate to water? Official exhausted after 2-hour grilling from school children. I just figured it out. Because you can't make crack cocaine without a bit of water. Or is that brake fluid? Or tater tots? I don't know. I get confused easily. I am the rodent born! And yes, I have 20 telegrams to answer, and apparently you can't receive more than 20, which I will be doing then with the answering of, therefore, to with, out pawn.